Today we bring you bizarre but really juicy news from Express. No copyright infringement or breach was intended. Adolf Hitler and his friend, a young Jewish girl. He smiles benignly into her eyes, then she beams affectionately back. What the young Jewish girl didn't know is that the man she called Uncle Hitler was hell-bent on the eradication of her race. Sinister Uncle Hitler and Rosa hug in a picture adorned with 9 Edelweiss flowers. On April 20, 1933, a little girl called Rosa Benoit Nienau joined a group of visitors celebrating a VIP's birthday at a mountain retreat in the Bavarian Alps. That was Hitler's hideaway. Rosa was probably invited to the party because she shared a birthday with the host. He turned 44 that day while she was just 7. In the event, he was charmed by his young guest, and the two went on to become so close that she called him uncle, and he referred to her as his sweetheart. So far, so unremarkable, but what was extraordinary about the relationship was that Rosa was Jewish and the man involved was Adolf Hitler. Now, or at the time of this article, an astonishing signed photograph of the architect of the final solution embracing his young Jewish friend was going up for auction and was expected to fetch up to 10,000 English pounds. The picture of the Nazi leader smiling and cuddling Rosa was taken at the Berghof, the Führer's Alpine headquarters, just 6 years before the outbreak of the Second World War. Incredibly, Hitler, responsible for sending 6 million Jews to their deaths during the conflict, so it has been stated, knew Rosa was considered Jewish under German racial laws at the time, and the Nazi persecution of the Jews was already well underway, with attacks on Jewish people, boycotts of their shops, and a purge of the civil and professional services. But he refused to sever ties with Rosa, and it was only when his private secretary, Martin Bormann, discovered Rosa's lack of German bloodlines in 1938 that she and her mother were eventually banned from seeing Hitler. Rosa Benoit now with Uncle Hitler. Tragically, Rosa died of spinal polio 5 years later. She probably died sad because she couldn't see her Uncle Hitler. The photograph, taken by the Führer's official photographer Heinrich Hoffmann, is signed by Hitler in dark blue ink. The dear and considerate Rosa Nienau, Adolf Hitler, Munich, the 16th June 1933. It was being sold at Alexander Historical Auctions at Chesapeake City in the US November 13th of that year that this article was published. Auctioneer Bill Panagopoulos says the signed version was never a publicly seen piece. Adolf Hitler inscribing a warm photograph showing him with a charming little girl whom amazingly he knew to be Jewish. A lot of these articles seem to repeat themselves in their wording. Hitler was very often photographed with children for propaganda purposes, just like Trump, right, kissing Negro children, etc., etc. The shocking thing about this piece is that it seems he had a genuine affinity for the young girl. And this particular author of a particular book, etc., Bill Panagopoulos, was simply stunned. Rosa and Hitler grew very close, so much so that the dictator refused all efforts to ban her from his company. In the end, he gave in, and the girl and her mother were instructed to keep away and remain silent. He adds, she quickly developed a close and warm friendship with her Uncle Hitler, which lasted until 1938. Indeed, the Bundesarchiv retained 17 letters from her to Hitler and aide Wilhelm Bruckner between 1935 and 1938. Rosa's grandmother was a Jew, so she was one quarter Jewish, and therefore Jewish under German racial laws in 1933. Research shows that very early on, Hitler became aware of the girl's Jewish heritage but chose to ignore it, either for personal or propaganda reasons. However, when Reich Minister Martin Bormann discovered he lack of pure German blood, he forbade mother and daughter access to the Berghof. Photographer Heinrich Hoffmann also complained that Bormann had forbidden him to continue to publish photos showing the leader with his child. Hoffmann tells us that Hitler is said to have overruled Bormann, complaining, "There are people who have a true talent for spoiling my every joy." However, despite Hoffmann's continued use of Neonau's images in his books and publications, by May 1938, the family was ordered to cease contact with upper party members, including Hitler. Hitler was my friend, Heinrich Hoffmann, world's most famous photographer. The book written by Hitler's official photographer, a memoir. Hoffmann captured another photo of Rosa and the Führer strolling in the grounds, Hitler's sweetheart. He said it delighted him to see her at the Berghof until some busybody found she was not of pure Aryan descent. Hitler was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany in January 1933, shortly before the photo, embellished with 9 Edelweiss flowers and a 4-leaf clover by Rosa, was taken. The auction lot includes Hoffmann's memoir, Hitler Was My Friend, first published in 1955. And here's some related articles. So maybe he only detested certain Jews, a certain party of Jews, because they owned all the shops, had high interest rates, were into this and that, according to Rabbi Reuven in his warning to the Jews, and what we found also in scriptures, biblical scriptures, through our personal study, and what a certain group of Jews, Zionists, got up to. Okay, it's quite an interesting article there. She was so happy, and as he said, there's always somebody that spoils it, right? His enjoyment. Quite a straight up guy, right? And if you ever watch the parody of Hitler in the bunker, and they say Fingerline, or whatever his name is, yeah, apparently he was shot for being a traitor. Said to be a traitor by Bormann or something like that. One of those Nazis shot him because he said he was a traitor to Hitler. Fingerline, yeah, I think it's that guy. And that's Hitler's spoof. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below, we keep them nice, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as we can. So share it with all your family, friends and others, because this man, obviously being human, had a heart. He had that small portion of good in him, right? As everyone does. So yeah, subscribe to our channel, give us a like, add your comments below, and we'll get back to you on those as soon as we can. And then go share this video with all your family, friends and others, that a tyrant, one such as Hitler or worse, can have that small portion of good within them.